Step 6 might be the most important step of all, rhythm. It's very, very important to understand the rhythmic structure that the composer has given you. And I've broken that down into several components. But before I talk about each component, I'd like to talk about how thrilling it is to sit in an audience and hear a singer whose voice arrives right on time. Leontine Price used to sing that way, and it was absolutely hair-raising. The phrase in Aida, for example, per me, per voi, pavento, per me, per voi, pavento, that voice would arrive right on the money. There was no waiting around. What that does is it allows you more time and more room to really express because you've arrived on time. Otherwise, you end up playing catch-up with the orchestra, and you get later and later and later with the beat. It also gives you the impression of making it up on the spot, and there's nothing more exciting than that. It sounds fresh and original and exciting. So let's talk about rhythm. First component is what I call the inner rhythm, or the heartbeat of each piece. And that's the smallest common denominator rhythmic value that provides you with a steady heartbeat. For example, let's take the opening Vici d'arte, Tosca's second act aria. It's written in quarter notes, slowly. Vici d'arte. What is the inner rhythm? Is it eighth notes? Vici d'arte. Is it 16th notes? Vici d'arte. Is it 32nd notes? Vici da. No, well, obviously 32nd notes makes Tosca sound hysterical. Eighth notes makes it sound as if she's been on drugs. So the 16th note is the heartbeat of that piece. Now, this heartbeat can change throughout the piece. This is very important to understand and actually practice and get in your body. For Callas was the great heartbeat singer. One could take dictation from the way she sang. It was note, rhythmic, perfect. All of her interpretation came through strict adherence to what the composer gave her. So take the note values. Actually clap your hands with the inner rhythm. This will make you give perfect cutoffs, perfect entrances, perfect sustain of the perfect note value. The next part of rhythmic understanding is the beats per bar. Now, that's pretty self-evident, but it's important that you understand what the beats per bar are. The next step is the conductor's beat, which is not necessarily the beat per bar. One could have 4 beats per bar, but the conductor might conduct it in 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's important to understand what the conductor is going to be beating in as well. Then we get to the phrase length. And it's very, very important to understand the length of the phrase, to speak the length of the phrase without singing, so that one speaks in phrase lengths. And to get rid of the bar lines in your mind, because the bar lines were a German convention just to organize music into rhythmic components. What we really want to hear is the phrase. So it's important to take a pencil and to draw a line over the phrases so that the brain, the eye, can transfer to the brain, oh, that's the phrase, rather than breaking it down into smaller components, because when one listens, one wants to hear the phrase length. Modern music, the composers are very, very exigent about marking in their phrase lengths. I mean, Puccini writes novels. Not only writes phrase lengths, but he writes stage instructions. But the further you go back in music history, the less information is on the page. So it's up to us to organize it. In fact, when you look at a score by Monteverdi, there are no bar lines. There's just the sentence.